We have another Zack Snyder special here, folks, Rebel Moon. In this video, I'll be breaking down this sci-fi epic and giving you my thoughts on the film. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so how did Rebel Moon come about? Well, Zack Snyder wanted to make a Star Wars film, but since he knew Disney wouldn't let him anywhere near the property, he decided to make his own Star Wars film. And that's how we got this boring piece of crap. Rebel Moon is a dull, sad excuse for a space opera. It took me an extra hour and a half to finish the film because I kept pausing it and not wanting to return. This movie is a slog to get through. It feels slow, and I'm not saying that just because of all the slow motion, which is way too much, but I digress. Rebel Moon borrows from all of your favorite sci-fi films, and it's apparent and clear. There isn't anything creative or interesting here. You've seen this all before. I mean, the effects aren't great. Most of the time, it's clear and obvious that they're standing on a soundstage, and it takes you out of the film every time. It really wants to be Star Wars, and it doesn't shy away from that. We've got rebels, we've got space Nazis, we've got the Imperium. It's all there for you. They've even got some of the bad dialogue. It's a knockoff Star Wars without the charm and the fun. Let's talk about our protagonist, Cora. Cora is a former Imperium officer. When she was a child, she lost her family and her homeworld to the Imperium, and she was spared because of reasons. Balisaris, I think that's how you say his name, who is the ultimate big bad, he brought her in and trained her to fight for the mother world. She became a badass fighter and a very young Imperium officer. We get all of this information via exposition and slow motion flashbacks. For some reason, they don't show us the moment where she decides to leave the Imperium, but I guess we'll get that in the next film. Honestly, I don't really care at this point. It was just so boring. After she fled, she ended up on this planet and became a farmer. Everything is fine. She's living a quiet life until the Imperium show up. Things quickly go south, and it becomes clear that Cora has to make a decision. Save the place she calls home or run. After a village girl is almost assaulted by the space Nazis, she decides to stay and fight. Zack Snyder doesn't shy away from his slow motion sequences. Most of them are unnecessary and don't need to be there. She teams up with a poor man's Bradley Cooper, a man whose stupidity got his village leader killed. They set off to find some warriors and the resistance so they can help them fight the Imperium. And what we get along the journey is some of the most boring storytelling you will ever see. I mean, they're hopping from planet to planet to planet to planet, and we get the same thing over and over again. He decides to introduce the characters by way of slow motion sequences and bad dialogue. Look no further than the recruitment of Tarek. They show up to find Tarek, and they find that the man is in debt. They don't have the money to free him. But the man Tarek owes has a solution. If Tarek can go out there and tame the beast, he'll let him go for free. And I'm like, why wasn't this offered to him before? What is happening right now with the script? Tarek is super confident that he can do this, so he goes out there and we get this long, boring, unimportant, unserious fight sequence with him and this beast, and I'm like, why do we need to see this? Why? This thing is going on for way too long. We do not need to see this slow motion fight sequence. Get back to the story. Then when we go to recruit Nemesis, we get another slow motion sequence, and I'm like, what's happening right now? Why? Nemesis has to fight this creature that's like kidnapping kids. Why do we have to see this? These character introductions do not need to be this long and big. The whole time she's fighting this thing, there's this child that is in danger, and none of our heroes go to help. None of them care about this kid. Cora is just standing there. Tarek and all of his abs is just standing there. And I'm like, what am I watching right now? Poor man's Bradley Cooper needs to spring to action to save the kid. I'm like, why is everyone else just standing there? The whole thing is just silly. Then he's like, that was impressive.
That was amazing.
Dude, shut up. And then we get this weird dialogue. What are you talking about, lady?
Do not celebrate this. This could easily be any of you lying here in the gutter of some forgotten world. In the name of revenge, you would do well to remember that.
Oh, so bad. I mean, I kind of get it. He wanted to introduce all of these characters in a cool way, but it's just way too much and unnecessary. This is what he should have done. He should have kept the character introduction short, but have them interacting more on screen. Have the characters that they recruit interact with each other, and that would have been a better use of time. In this movie, we don't really see the characters that she recruits interacting with each other. That would have been better. Have characterization through the dialogue between the new characters. Have us learn about the characters through the dialogue and interaction with each other, rather than these elaborate slow motion sequences that are just a slog to get through. It would have been better to have these characters building bonds, chemistry with each other, and maybe that way we would care more about them later on. But that doesn't happen because he spent so much time with these boring character introductions. They don't make me care. They do not make me care. Near the end of the movie, when they find the resistance, Kai, the guy who was clearly going to turn on them, turned on them. And then we got one of the most nonsensical escapes I've seen in a while. The poor man's Bradley Cooper manages to free Korra in a way that's so silly and it lands so flat, because how could Kai not see that coming? He just turns around and kills him. And I'm like, dude, did you not prepare for that? What's going on here? I mean, a second ago, they were all captured by Atticus Noble, the main antagonist of the film. And then the next thing you know, they're all free running around shooting up people. It was just a silly way to resolve that conflict. I get the purpose is to have this farmer become a hero, but it just lands so flat. They tried to make the farmer have this arc of being a hero, but it really wasn't an arc at all. The guy is just there for the most part to be a soundboard for Korra as she tells the audience about her past. That's why he's there. I felt nothing for him. The problem with a lot of Zack Snyder films, there is no emotional resonance. You feel nothing. You have some cool visuals, but you feel nothing. Oh, it's so bad. So Atticus Noble and his men were the people that they were worried about. So they kind of resolve the issue once Korra kills Atticus, so everything's fine. They go back to Korra's home and everything's cool. No, because Atticus Noble is not dead. The Imperium bring him back, and then we see the ultimate big bad conversing with Atticus, and he tells them to go hunt down Korra and bring her in so she can be made an example of by him personally. This whole entire movie was kind of just a massive setup. We got character introductions, we got the backstory of the main character, and we have the antagonist given a mission by the big bad. It just wasn't worth my time. This movie sucks. I don't want to see the next one. Honestly, Zack Snyder is out here talking about the rated R director's cut, and I'm like, dude, I don't care.
How more extreme will the director's cut be?
Way more brutal, it's way more, but it's also more bizarre. It's just more, it's more Verhoeven-esque, I guess, if you want to think about it in those ways.
This new trend of director's cut bullshit, I'm sick and tired of hearing about director's cut. Put out the movie you want me to see and shut up. Enough of this director's cut bullshit. As boring as this movie was, you think I want to see more scenes? I don't. I don't know why this movie wasn't rated R to begin with. I mean, the action sequence when Korra is killing the space Nazis could have used the blood, but it wasn't there for some reason. I don't know why they held back on that, but I'm not interested in seeing the director's cut. The plot and the dialogue and the direction, it just wasn't great. Rebel Moon, if you've seen a sci-fi film, you've seen this movie already. It's doing nothing innovative, nothing interesting. It's a drag to get through. I would not recommend this movie whatsoever. I would stay away, seriously. And that's kind of where we're at with Zack Snyder. Rebel Moon is a hard pass. Do not watch this film if you're trying to stay awake. If you need to fall asleep, you can put this on. I'll give it 1.5 out of 5 stars, and it's lucky it got that. What were your thoughts on Rebel Moon? Did you like it? Did you care? Are you a Zack Snyder fan? Are you looking forward to the director's cut? Let me know. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I got more stuff coming for you, and I will talk to you later. This movie might be worse than BVS.